Today we honor and remember the lives of all those lost 1 year ago. Those victims who innocently went into the supermarket.
A wretch like me.
And Eric Talley, the brave soul who charged in to try to save all of them.
I remember it like it was yesterday, and as hard as it is sometimes, I remember every detail.
But now I see.
Moving forward doesn't mean at all that we're leaving them behind. It means living our lives to honor theirs, keeping them close in our hearts.
May we lift up the victims today, and may their passing inspire us to embrace each day as a gift and give our all to life.
The pain dissipates and we get to a better place, and we can start thinking about people in a hopeful and happy remembrance of their lives.
Grace will lead me home.
And these are the names and faces of the 10 people we vowed to never forget after the tragedy at the Boulder King Supers last year. Denny Stong, Nevin Stanisic, Ricky Olds, Trelana Barkowiak, Suzanne Fountain,
Terry Leiker, Officer Eric Talley, Kevin Mahoney, Lynn Murray, Jody Waters. While they're no longer with us, their memory lives on in the lives they touched and the stories we tell about them. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Jessica Porter.
Good evening. I'm Ann Trujillo. Colorado, we've been down this road before. We mourned together after Columbine. We did it after Platte Canyon, after the Aurora Theater shooting, and STEM School Highlands Ranch. And it obviously doesn't get any easier, yet each time reminds us of how resilient our community is.
Tonight, we set our focus on Boulder. Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez joins us live from Boulder. Ivan, you've been talking to those impacted all day long.
I spoke with a man who says Denny Stong was like a brother to him, and he was working at the time of the shooting. I also heard from the daughter of Lynn Murray, who tells me her mother was the most beautiful person she's ever met. The event that took place inside the Table Mesa King Supers 1 year ago lived fresh in the minds of friends and family who lost their loved ones.
As hard as it is sometimes, I remember every detail.
Logan Smith was working as a barista inside the store at the time of the shooting. He says over time, he built a strong relationship with Denny Stong.
He was dedicated to anything he ever believed in. He was on his way to getting his pilot's license. He was on his way to getting his motorcycle's license.
Although that King Supers was closed today, it's expected to reopen tomorrow. And again, that daughter of Lynn Murray telling me her mother, she misses everything about her. She misses hugging her in the morning, knowing that she's a phone call away, and all that was taken in an instant. Live in Boulder, Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
Yeah, sad day. Thank you, Ivan. And community members gathered this evening at the Bandshell in downtown Boulder. It was yet another chance for Boulder residents to come together and honor the lives lost. Now, this memorial is just now wrapping up, and we do have a crew there in attendance, and we will bring you a recap tonight on Denver 7 News at 10.
A separate memorial took place earlier this afternoon at the Boulder Police Department. Congressman Jason Crow and Joe Neguse were on hand as the department honored Officer Eric Talley. It included a final radio call to Officer Talley. He was killed responding to the shooting. Congressman Neguse shared his message about Officer Talley's bravery.
Once he entered that building and engaged the shooter, no other lives were taken. A hero, a father, a husband, a colleague, a cherished community member. He was so much to so many people. We owe him and his family a heavy debt of gratitude for his bravery.
Officer Talley's patrol car has been on display at the Boulder Police Department since last Friday. It was adorned in flowers, cards, and messages of hope. It was just removed from the department within the hour. Denver 7's Russell Haythorne joins us live now. Russell, you sat down with the chief one-on-one.
Yeah, Jessica, Chief Maris Harold told us that this community has really wrapped its arms around the police department since that tragedy 1 year ago today. Chief Harris was reflective in our one-on-one. She was thoughtful, but she's also resolved to move this community forward.
Obviously, this occasion brings us here on a somber note. And what an event that you all had to live through and go through. How are you?
I'm better than I was on March 22nd, obviously, but you know, we still have our challenges. I think that we're making a lot of progress. It was a gruesome incident and something that I don't know if you ever totally recover from. But I feel hopeful that we are making the progress on multiple fronts. So tragic, people shopping. Obviously, I lost Eric Talley, so this felt so different to me.
Did you know him?
I did know Eric.
You did?
I did know Eric very well, and you know, a couple weeks before this incident, Eric and his family were up in my office in this conference room right here, getting a life-saving award. And so I knew of Eric. I talked to him on multiple occasions, but this was especially hard. I've watched the body-worn camera of this incident. He didn't hesitate, and I don't know if you can even train that. And there's no doubt, we know that his actions and the other responding officers saved dozens of lives. His actions, along with the other officers that went in right behind him, are heroic. No doubt about that.
What were you doing that day, and how hard was it?
So I was sitting in this office right behind you, and I had just finished up a meeting, and I got a text, and the text said that we had a active shooter at King Soopers, and we had been getting erroneous text from our SWAT software, and I thought it was a mistake. And so I called our deputy chief, Kerry Weinheimer, and I said, I got this strange text, and as I'm talking to him, I could hear the shots in the background. And he said, you need to get here, we have an active shooter inside of King Soopers. And of course, unfortunately, in my mind, like, the last thing I heard from my partner was, I'm going down to King Soopers to get some groceries that morning. And so it was a very emotional 30 seconds. I couldn't get a hold of my partner. It was surreal.
Are you helping to, I guess, get this community through the grieving process?
I can tell you the pain is going away, and I think the community feels the same way. During the reopening of King Soopers, there was a ton of community outpouring at that event. The pain dissipates, and we get to a better place, and we can start thinking about people in a, you know, hopeful and happy remembrance of their lives. And most certainly, I think the police department now is feeling that we just want to remember, and I think the community feels that way about all 10 innocent victims that were tragically killed in this incident. This is a unique community, and they have supported me since I've been here, and I will forever be grateful for that, because I don't think I would have made it without them.
Chief Harold tells us she received about 1,000 cards addressed to her alone from people around the world. She says it took her about a year, but she finally got through them all. She's now ready for the criminal trial to begin in this case. She believes her department has presented a very solid case against the suspect to the DA. You can catch our entire 25-minute interview on thedenverchannel.com. For now, we're live in Boulder. Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
Yeah, such incredible strength from her. Russell, thank you for that. And last month, the new exhibit opened at the Museum of Boulder, offering up a special place for the community to gather to heal. The exhibit is called Boulder Strong, Still Strong. And artist Ross Taylor took portraits of people who were in some way connected to the tragedy. They include law enforcement officers who responded and King Soopers employees. And that exhibit is open through April 10th.
Even though a year has passed, community organizations are still taking donations to help those directly impacted by this tragedy. If you would like to help, consider donating to the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation, the Colorado Healing Fund, or the Community Foundation of Boulder County. All three nonprofits work for the community during times of tragedy. And you can find our full coverage of today's events as well as links on how you can continue to help right now on thedenverchannel.com.
Right now, Douglas County School Board is meeting to choose its new superintendent, and on the agenda, the board says it has narrowed their choice down to one finalist who will be offered the job. Now, earlier this month, the board interviewed finalists Erin Kane and Danny Windsor, and it appears Kane is the favorite among the conservative majority board members. She is the current executive director of schools for American Academy. The board decided to fire former Superintendent Corey Wise last month, saying he did not align with their vision.
You're no longer able to be a functioning member of society.
Wheelchair repair is often a lengthy and costly process.
Am I going to be able to live my life, or is my chair going to break down tomorrow?
A new state bill aims to give wheelchair users their power back.
If you weren't disabled and you were just in normal society, this would never be acceptable.
Gusty winds and light showers continue this evening, then sunshine and warmer days return tomorrow. I'll let you know when the 70s return and your full forecast coming up.